This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry. If you've lost your spark, let's talk about how we can help it return. We're talking about finding your joy for Mental Health Matters today with Viking Psychiatry, and I am joined by Sean Goddard, who is their owner. Hello, Sean.
Hi.
Okay, so I love this. Let's talk about finding our joy again. Okay, so when people go through depression, they have sad thoughts, they're having a hard time. One of the major things that they say is, I can't find my joy. So what is actually happening in the brain?
Yeah, so this is what we call anhedonia. And this means that we really are struggling to find joy in life. We have changes in our dopamine, serotonin, and glutaminergic pathways in our brain. And these we know are largely responsible for us being able to experience joy and pleasure. And so as we have this kind of degradation of these levels, right, then we begin to feel a lack of steam, right? If you think about those steam trains back in the day, right, you had to have steam to kind of push motion and move forward, and we let those fires burn down, the steam's not coming out, and the train doesn't move forward. And so that's kind of what's happening to us, right? We're just kind of collapsing in, losing energy, and then we have no drive, no push to really feel and experience pleasure and joy in our life.
Yeah, and that loss of joy can be a really hard thing. And so if it has been gone for a long time, is it possible to get it to return?
Absolutely. This is one of the amazing things about the brain. It's called neuroplasticity, right? And so a lot of people have heard of it. It's a big word on TikTok and all those types of things. But
okay,
really,
say it again.
Neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity. Yep. We're learning that today.
It's a great word because what I want you to think about is I want you to think about, maybe you go to the store to buy some flowers or a plant to put in your yard, and all the ones that you wanted are gone except this one that's just kind of struggling, right? It's beginning to wilt and it doesn't look that green and vibrant, right? And it's not really present, but it's still alive, it's still there, and so you take that opportunity and you go, oh, it's discounted, it's 50% off, right? So you take it home, and what do? You take it home and you plant it, you give it fertilizer, you give it water, you give it love, maybe you're somebody who sings to it or plays music, whatever you need to do, right? And what happens to that plant? We begin to see that as it sets its new roots and expands new growth, then it begins to grow, right? And it begins to unwilt and bring back its vibrant colors, and maybe those flowers begin to erupt, right? And that's what happens with treatments that target neuroplasticity. We are effectively causing roots, right? Growth of new nerves to occur and creating new pathways that lead to change and healing.
That's really interesting. Okay, so what are there treatments that are in line with this neuroplasticity that you offer that really helps with that process for humans, like a plant? Absolutely.
That's one of the things we specialize at Viking Psychiatry, focusing on interventional psychiatry. We have treatments like ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, medical ketamine IV infusions, Spravato. If you want to do a non-chemical approach, we have TMS, or transcranial magnetic stimulation, but you can also do it through cognitive behavioral therapy. You can do it through exercise. Exercise is known to release something called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So think miracle grow for the brain. Trying to develop a new hobby, flipping things up, switching things up, because what we've been doing hasn't been working. We start something new and it causes growth and waking up in the brain.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so I know that we're all out here looking for our joy. We want to find it. We want to hold on tight to it. So what are some of the smallest things that we can do each day to help reconnect with our joy?
Yeah, I think it goes back to what we've talked about before, is that we tend to focus on the negativity, right? And people around us help us focus on the negativity, right? Somebody comes in and complains about this or complains about that, right? And it just continues to push that process of negative. And so what I really push on is doing a little joy tracker, right? Whether it's paper, or we just about all of us have smartphones now. We have that notepad function. We have AI now where we can just talk to, one of those individuals, I won't say their name, right? And say, hey, I noticed this positive happened today, or this good thing came through, right? And it can be the little things. I was sitting on my couch at home the other day. We put out bird feeders this year. Maybe I'm starting to show my age or whatever, right? But while I was sitting there, not what I was there for was to look at the bird feeder. We had a hummingbird thing put out, and I had not seen a hummingbird yet this year. Oh. And all of a sudden I was looking at the regular bird feeder as I was listening to my audiobook, and right by the bird feeder was this beautiful hummingbird, right, that looked at the regular bird feeder and then flew down to the hummingbird feeder and started to feed. And so for me, that was like joyful. It was super exciting, because this whole time I bought this and put out this hummingbird feeder, and I hadn't seen a hummingbird yet, and supposedly it's one of the largest migrations in years. Wow. And then here was this hummingbird, right? And I took so much reward and joy out of that. And to me, mentally, I checked that box, right? This was a joyful event for me. And so that's what we need to do. We need to look at those little moments and allow them to stack up, because as we do that, those little moments become more often and bigger moments, right? And so you don't create, what they say about an avalanche. You start it with just a snowball, right? Or a rock or whatever it may be, depending on the avalanche, and it turns into this big thing. And that's what we have to do, is we have to start an avalanche of joy.
Yeah, I love that. And just finding the smallest things. And I would say for me, like either driving and seeing kids play on the street, and that just authentic, just joy that they're in, riding their bikes, or walking around the park. Promenade Park has those splash pads, and it's like this much water, but these little kids, it's like the best thing in the world to put their feet in it, and just to see them laugh. It's like you want that, like just to do something so simple and get so much joy. It always makes me smile.
I absolutely get it.
So cute, yeah. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you
for spreading joy today, Sean.
Thanks for helping me spread it.
Yes. And remember, you are enough. You are not alone. We are in this with you, and Viking Psychiatry is here to help. So I will leave their website below. Check out their services, give them a call, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry.